Welcome. I'm so excited to be here for you today and to share with you a healing that we're going to do. So, first, I'm going to just share with you quickly some of the things that we're going to be releasing so you're aware of that, and then I'll start explaining some things too and go into the energy healing. So we're going to be releasing the sense of responsibility that we have for taking care of everybody around us because we grew up as nurturers. Different abuse, narcissistic abuse, and perfectionism, anger, shame, guilt, anxiety, abandonment, helplessness, disappointment, grief. Those will be shared in relationships also. We're going to be clearing where you're beating yourself up, where you don't want to be like somebody else, where you've made deep vows about, I will not be like you. We're going to clear those. We're going to release energies from news, media, social media, movies, TV that you've taken on and you're holding in your system. Some survival features or what do I want to say, toxic energy, some dark energy, and we're going to kind of do an overview of all of those, and I'm going to take you into a space that will allow you to do that, and you can listen to this over and over and over again, once a day or once a week, whatever you want to do to help release, because each time that you do it, you're going to be releasing more and more. And this also will give you a tool that you can, if there's something I don't mention in here, you can bring it up yourself and clear it through the techniques that I'm going to share with you. So first I want to talk about and give some substance to what we're doing energetically as a healing, and also why do we want to clear things out, and how did things get stuck in us in the first place. So you have to remember, everything is energy. That's quantum physics. Everything is energy, and what energy you put out consciously or unconsciously comes back to you. So those are the things that you're thinking over and over again, whether I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, the world's not a safe place. These are things that we will be releasing because of certain things that have happened to you. You've created a belief around that, and that gets running in your system if you do it over and over again. If you have that message coming to you, or you create that message and you believe it, so you're playing it in the background whether you're conscious or not, but that energy is going out. And so we always will prove ourselves right, because what vibrates in us is attracting, magnetizing to us, that is showing up in the outside world in order to give us the energy and the frequency that we're creating. So the whole idea is to release these limiting, lower dense energies, traumas and abuses and different beliefs that are not serving us in living that our best self, our higher self, evolving, ascending, and so that you can have the energy, the vitality, and raise your frequencies. And because you have free will, you can start to believe new things that and believe in a new life and a new way of being, and that will help create, because everything is energy, those frequencies and stuff, what you, and those beliefs and those ideas and whatever you put your attention on will start creating that new opportunities, possibilities, and bring people and situations into your life with that new energy that will help lift you up. So wherever your attention is, the energy that is in your field is your current now. So thinking about that whatever you're experiencing in the outside world is because that's what you're believing. So you're seeing what you believe, whether you're conscious of it or not. And so where you're struggling is, so if you're struggling financially or you're struggling with love, that you have beliefs that are very limiting there that are holding you back. So your outside world is reflecting back to you what you believe. So we have to get that. So if we need to change our outside world, if we need to change, we want to change our circumstances, our possibilities, and create a whole new world and a new us, evolve, learn, grow, be successful, be productive, be of service, all the things, share our gifts and talents in the world and live our mission and our purpose, right? We need to change. That's what I'm always talking about. We need to change what our programming is. And where you're unconsciously making choices and acting is your programming. It's like a computer. Computer's programmed to do certain things. You can't have that computer do something else because it's not programmed to. It's the same thing with yourself. Those unconscious programmings that you have from growing up, conclusions that you've drawn and things that people have told you or that you've taken in and you have believed without questioning, or believe with questioning, because there are positive things that you believe also, but we're talking about the limiting things. Those things get in your way, and they stop you from taking the actions or that would bring you what it is that you really want. So for an example, it might be you want abundance in your life, or you want love in your life, right? But you have a deep belief that you're not lovable, or it doesn't feel safe for you to be vulnerable in love, so you won't go there. Another thing is that I'll link it to love. So financially, a lot of times, depending on what your relationship was with your family, money can be linked to love. So if for example, my father didn't pay child support, so I thought I wasn't enough, and I had a link to money not being supported, but it happened to be child support because he wasn't there physically, right? That something was wrong with me, and I was not enough, therefore I could not be supported. And now my connection to money reminds me that I was not loved, until I worked that out and figured that wasn't the truth. So there's that's just one thing that I'm sharing with you, right? So it's like there's a whole array of things that can happen. So I want you to know, when you were born with gifts and talents of unconditional love and an expansive soul. You came in with a soul that has all the information that you need to go out into the world to express yourself. You are unconditional love because you are of Source and you are of Gaia. You are connected to everything. Remember, everything is energy. We're all connected. And you can go learn about this. But knowing you come into the world loving, lovable. You come in full of love. And it's your conditioning and stuff that takes that away. And it's your conditioning and traumas and stuff that happen that squash your gifts and talents a lot of the time when you're young. So when you are traumatized, so here we go, like traumatized, so things happen, could be a little trauma, a big trauma, things happening over and over again, all different things, whatever it is that happens that has an energetic and physical effect on you, right? So it could be somebody says something to you that's very hurtful, that's traumatizing. So when you're traumatized, your body energetically and physically is affected. and you store these images this time. It's like things freeze. Whatever that moment is, things freeze. It freezes in your system. And it lives within you. And then these imprints get triggered. It could be later on by unrelated incidences that match the frequency of your trauma, of that stored trauma. So that might be like why you all of a sudden get anxious around an idea of doing something, or you, what do I want to say? It might be that all of a sudden you get really dramatic and start crying or go numb and dumb or something when something happens and you don't understand why you did that or why it was such a big deal to you. It's because it's triggering the old traumas in you that created either fear, a variety of different levels of fear. And so we do, out of safety, we react trying to become safe. And we end up, as a little kid, when we have trauma, then we end up doing things in order to make ourselves feel safe. Like we'll say, if we were getting, bullied, and because we were smart, and we were standing up and saying things, and then all of a sudden we see that we're getting hurt or abused because we're speaking up and we're being seen, then we might say, oh, I'm not going to be seen. I'm going to blend in. I'm not going to show how smart I am. I'm not going to speak up. I'm not going to stand out. I'm going to blend in because that's the only way that I feel safe. So this stored information influences your choices, actions, and emotions as long as they exist. And most of the time, you aren't aware of these imprinted belief systems and fears. You don't understand why you're reacting the way that you are, or why you get triggered, or why you feel anxious. And so this is just to share with you, this is your programming, and you need to clear what doesn't align with the energy of your new ideas of yourself and of the world. So that's what we're going to do some clearing today. So your limiting mindset, beliefs, conditionings, contracts with parents, ancestors, or from the past, from past lives, block your spirit from being fully embodied and honestly expressed in the now. So those things are blocking you from being the you that you really are. And they diminish your life force that you were born with. So childhood trauma, ancestral or past life trauma is stored in the energy centers of your body, which we call chakras. And when you get triggered today by the news, media, or people in your life, right, that match our trauma frequency, it takes us out of alignment in our higher selves, with our higher selves and our soul. So it gets us, just think like you get knocked out of your body every time you sort of have every time you have a trauma, you're out of your body. And so it's important to be coming back into our bodies, to be grounding into our bodies, to be coming down into our bodies, because we're here to learn how powerful we are, how multidimensional we are in the human body. That is the experience that you came into the world to experience. And in the human body, the lower chakra, first, second, third chakras are our power centers. And being in the body is also, you're in the now, and that's where you create, where you manifest, where you design, where you're creating a new frequency in the world, right? If you're in the past or in the future, you're reliving your programming. You've gone unconscious. Is that making sense now? So this is, hopefully you're getting to see why it's so important to change the things, release the limiting beliefs and programming that's going on inside of you. So I'm sorry, I have my notes here that I'm reading from. I wrote everything out so I could, otherwise I can go all over the place. So your mind becomes disconnected from your heart and spirit, and you split from your body where your human power of creation exists, what I just explained. So when you were young, you remembered your gifts. So when you were very young, you knew all of this until you started getting programmed and thought you would use them to help others. So those of us who are healers, light workers, who are empaths, gatekeeper, all those that are here, that were taught to be nurturers in their family, that were the ones that emotionally took care of the family. We were conditioned to do that. And part of the reason that we were good at doing it is because our talents and gifts were that we could see things. We could see what was missing. We could see what they needed. We had great intuition. And because we were empaths, we could feel them. We could feel what needed to happen. We had psychic abilities. Those are our multidimensional selves, our higher selves. We were open channel. We could see. But the other thing is one reason why we wanted to help them also is because we could feel everything. And if they felt better, particularly our family, right, or whoever we were around the most, if we could make them feel good, then we would feel better. That became our value, was to making other people feel good. Then we could feel more secure. We felt safer by helping them feel good, because then they could pay more attention to us, or we would be needed, so we would never be abandoned. Those are just some of the issues that come up. But we do things because in order to make ourselves feel safe. So as a child, whatever was going on in your family, my mom was a single mom, divorced. So at a young age, at 4 years old, my grandmother said, you better be a good girl, so your mom doesn't leave you kids also, or something doesn't happen to her. Not that she would leave, but if something happened to her, then we would be without a mom, because my mom and dad had gotten divorced when I was 4. So now all of a sudden I have to become like a husband or the caretaker of my mother emotionally, and my younger brother and sister. And so that was a big burden for a little 4-year-old girl. So I was on high alert to solve problems head off things before they happened and became something really bad, and also just make people feel good about themselves. So I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this in some way or the other. You probably had one. Also, we probably had one parent who was a narcissist in our family. If you're following me, that's a big thing. And so the narcissist you never feel like you're enough. So you're always having to do more. And the narcissist loves when people take care of them and make them feel good about themselves. And so we become really good at taking care of narcissists and sacrificing ourselves in order to do that. And never feeling good enough because we can never do it well enough. But so say your parents were fighting and you would stop the fights. You would try to, make it feel good. Or you're taking care of fights between brothers and sisters, or, whatever the things are that you're solving. But what tends to happen then is when you start, so that now you gain this sense of responsibility for everybody. You have this strong feeling that you're responsible for how everybody else feels or how everybody else is. And again, that's a huge responsibility that you take on as a young kid that you don't really understand is not your responsibility. And that's one of the things that you're going to get out of this whole thing, is that you are not responsible. You got to stay in your lane and be responsible for you, and that can do the greatest healing for all the people around you. So we're going to do some clearing of these energies associated with this programming, so you can let go uh, of the feelings that you have taken on about yourself because you cannot solve their problems, because you cannot always make them feel better. And so when things didn't happen, then you started losing confidence in your gifts and talents as a little kid. Oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was. Oh, I don't have this. So we started questioning ourselves. And again, it goes into our self-esteem. And so we're working harder and harder and trying to learn things and how to do things better. And this is where the perfectionist comes in. Our little girl is, always trying to fend off the things that could happen that could ruin something and be really, the good Girl Scout prepared for anything in the future. And so she's never in the present moment. She's just looking at, how do I fix that? And how do I prepare so nothing bad happens? And she's not involved in any of this other than, thinking that she doesn't factor into any of this other than being the savior or the fixer or the healer. Again, a label we'll end up putting on ourselves. So let's go into go into the meditation. And so get yourselves settled in, make sure that it's quiet. And what I want you to do is I want you to start thinking of your body as a channel or as a column, or if you know the term torus field, I want you to just start thinking of, I also call it a mobile home. So any of your energy that's all around you and your physical body, I call your mobile home. And so it's like we're feng shuiing, just like you would a house, we're feng shuiing that mobile home. But again, I want you to think of it as energetic though too. So it's not a static, hard thing. It's energy is moving all around because everything is energy. So there's all this exchange of energy that is happening, but you do have an energetic field. And one of the things is for you, that's what you're going to learn today, is how to clear that field of the things that you've picked up and that you've also been conditioned to hold on to in your non-physical and your physical body. So I want you to remember, there is energy, there is you, non-physical energy around you that we can't see, that is your energy, but also other energy out there, all of that, the quantum field, or some people call it God, source, universal intelligence, the vortex, the void, so as well as other types of energy flowing in, but it's all within that bigger source of energy. And we are of that. It is in our body, and we come from that. We have our aspects that are connected to that. We are connected to that and everything in that. Okay. So now I'd like you to start taking nice, deep, slow breaths. And deep all the way into your belly, letting your belly expand. It might be a 5-count in-breath, and then a 5-count exhale. And just do that 3 times, nice and slow and deep. And this is something you can do if you ever start to get anxious or overwhelmed, just stop and do this, because it tells your brain, the reptilian part of your brain, that's the fight or flight or freeze, that you're safe. You're not on high alert looking for danger. And then we're going to connect. So I want you to intend. So everything in this is intention. So you're intending what I'm saying. So you're intending everything that's an intention. That's how you manifest, is through intention. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, your beliefs are intentions. But if we create an intention, and so you can say the things that I'm saying out loud also, that will help you, because that creates a stronger intention. But also you just thinking it, also when you write things out, that's an intention, a strong intention. So we're going to intend that you connect more strongly to source. So I want you to imagine, I said like a column or the torus field. I want you to imagine that there's a column of energy, the center of you, that surrounds your body, and it goes all the way up into source energy, and it goes all the way down and connects into Gaia. And you can imagine beautiful source energy coming up, coming down, golden white light flowing down through and all around you, through your skull. And that energy, just also think of like a sun coming down and flowing through that energy and stopping in your heart space. And then you can think from Gaia flowing up, you can think of this diamond crystalline white energy flowing up, and you can think of like another sun flowing up of that energy in that field and connecting with the sun in your heart. And so there's an exchange of this beautiful golden energy, white and golden energy flowing down through all your body, but there's a concentration of that in your heart, like a sun, a round ball of sun in your heart. And then there's that golden white crystalline sparkly energy diamond flowing up through your body, all the way up, and it goes up and then it comes out and down and around, and the source energy goes down and then comes up and around. So it's like you're in this beautiful energy, like an egg with a center column. Or think of a donut, and then where the hole in the donut is where the column is. But the donut is energy. There's energy moving up and down and up. So everything is moving. And so let's invite. So I invite, just say to yourself, I invite my higher selves, my creator, my higher self, my Christed self. You don't have to know what these are. Your spirit knows. Almighty I Am Presence, angelic levels, master levels, galactic levels, and all of my divine aspects across all parallel realities, seen and unseen. And I want you to imagine all of these coming in together right now, all lining up above you and within you. And then I want you to call in all the aspects of yourself that are scattered out and about in the past or the future. So just imagine, I call all of my energies that are scattered out around with other people, other situations, events, the what ifs, all of that, come back home, come back to me, let them come back to you. Just feel like it's like rubber bands snapping back, and it's just your energy. You're just letting your energy come to you. And just notice as we do this how you feel. You might start feeling like I'm more in my body now. Yes. So I'm going to get you in your body even more right now. So I want you to breathe in, and I want you to breathe into like your mind. Imagine. So the intention is the breath goes to the mind. And this energy is flowing, right? So the breath to the mind. Nice, deep, and slow. We want it slow. If it's shallow and fast, then that tells you, it's telling your brain there's something, danger. So nice and slow to your brain. And now from your brain to your heart, breathe in, have the connection from the mind, the brain to the heart. Nice and deep and slow. And then from the heart to the stomach. And I want you to imagine that all this connection, the brain, the heart, the stomach, all connected. And then now I want you to include the spine. So you're breathing in, breathing into the spine, the whole spine. You can imagine the breath coming up from the sacrum all the way up to the top of the spine. You can even think of it coming to the top of the spine, then coming to your pineal gland, which is in the center of your head, your third eye, in between your center of your head, behind your third eye, and then coming back down through the heart and into the stomach, and then going to the spine. Now let's do it even more. Let's have it go into the bones and the blood. So imagine now it's spreading throughout the body in the different systems and deep into the bones. Nice, deep, slow breath into the bones. And then I want you to breathe it down, all the way down into, going down into your genitals. And then imagine there's a soul star or underneath your feet. Imagine connecting to that soul star, deep into Gaia, again connecting into her, that sparkly diamond white energy. You might see your soul star. It might be a certain color or brightness. Just with your intention, you'll connect. You don't have to see it or experience it. And whatever is happening, whatever you're experiencing in this time, in this moment, is fine. Each time you do it, you'll go deeper and you'll have different experience. Then go back up, feeling yourself go back up, and go back up through the groin and the stomach and the heart, and go up to your up to the pineal gland. It's in the center of your head, connecting there. And then breathe into that. And we want to activate. So intend that it's activated, that it's growing. You actually, let's take a breath in, a nice deep slow breath in, and then I want you to hold it, focusing on your pineal gland. So it's like so with that intention, it's like it's lighting it up, it's turning it on, it's helping it to grow, helping to wake it up. Great. And then go up from the pineal gland all the way up to your soul star that's above you. Connecting in, and then again, we're already connected to Source and your higher selves. So now I just want you to feel, come back down into your body, breathing in your bones, breathing in all your organs. I want you to think about breathing into your cells and being present in your body right here, right now. Okay, here comes the fun part. All right, so I want you to imagine that there's a clear ball out in front of you, and like a clear beach ball, and it's just floating in front of you. Now this beach ball can get as big as it needs to get, and it will not explode. And when we're going to give this back to the universe. We're going to give this back to Source and Gaia, and they can disperse the energy that's going to go into this ball. You don't have to worry what happens to it. I will guide you through everything. Again, it's all intention. And what I would like you to do is to imagine that there's a magnet, huge, powerful magnet that's in this bubble or this beach ball. And that it is going to pull out everything that we talk about. So there's two ways that we can do this. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to do. You can see, you can imagine everything that I say. So the first thing we're going to do is the responsibility. So you can see where the responsibility is in your, so say your guilt of not being good enough, for being responsible for, might be a brown. You can think of it as a color and see it going in, or there might even be, you might visually see things. You might see a movie, just of things shooting in. You might see body parts. You might see people. You might just see color. You might see things that represent symbols. It doesn't matter. That's not important. Just see that the things are going in the bubble, and or you can just imagine that things are going in the bubble. You don't have to necessarily experience anything. You don't have to think that it's a color. It's just whatever we intend is going in the bubble from wherever energetically around you. So again, I will guide you through this, but there's no way you can do this wrong. So unless you just don't want to play, and that's fine. But if you intend it, I've done this many thousands of times, and with all sorts of people, and it's always had great success. So let's start. So the bubble is out in front of you, floating. It can get as big as the universe. You don't have to worry about it. There's a huge magnet. That magnet is going to attract everything that we say, that we want to surrender. So you can just say surrender, surrender, let go, release, whatever the word is for you, whatever feels good for you. Again, this is customized for you. So let's start with responsibility for healing others. So having the tools for feeling responsible. So wherever in you is the feeling of feeling responsible for taking care of others, at the point of sacrificing who you are, let it go. Where you have been programmed and taught that others were more important to you, or that you took on that belief. So just imagine these beliefs are flying out, the magnet's pulling them out. Where you have a belief that you don't matter as much as others. Other people are more important to you. This is your job. You're not enough. That you didn't do a good job because you didn't solve everybody's problem. Where you felt like a slave. Where you felt that your only value was what you could do for your family, that you weren't safe. You had to do this in order to be safe. Where there's any shame about not helping your family as much, where you let them down or let other people down because you couldn't help them. Letting go of all of the beliefs that you're not where you lost your confidence, where you felt you weren't valuable, that you weren't worthy, that you're believing that now, that's holding you back because you didn't do what you thought you were supposed to do as a child, or even as a young adult. Let go of all the places where you feel like you failed, You failed others. You don't understand it's not our job. We can't do it for others. Everybody's got to do it for themselves. We can't change somebody else's belief. I can't change your belief. Only you can. But we were taught to think that we could. So let's release also where this has put any strains on relationships. Strains where you kept yourself from relationships, have kept yourself out of relationships because you didn't feel good enough. Where you settled for less because you didn't feel you were confident and good enough. Where you've been disappointed in yourself. The grief, letting go of the grief of the pain of other people. Let's let go of the pain of other people that you took on as your own and made their pain your responsibility. Any abuse you took in your family or outside the family, any abuse on social media, any abuse in the news, any abuse in religion, in culture, any oppression, any traumas that have to do with rape, incest, emotional, physical, beatings, hitting, being hit, or seeing that in your family and feeling bad because you weren't able to do anything about it. Just let those come out into the bubble. Let it all come out into the bubble. And as this is releasing in the bubble, your natural life force, that life force that has been there since you were born, since you were a little girl or a little boy, is starting to rise up. It's getting room so you can see your energy your own energy start to fill your body. You'll start to feel that column of light lighten up and brighten up, amplify. You'll start to feel that as you let go. You'll start to feel lighter. So it's just like let's throw everything in there that is not aligned with your higher self and that you're ready to have at this moment. Right? For your higher self, aligned with your higher frequency of the truth of who you are. We're letting go of all of those things, all of those stories we tell ourselves. I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not successful enough, I don't have enough money, all of the lack. It's not safe to be me, it's not safe to be seen, it's not safe to be heard, I'm not safe. Throw that out right now. Just throw that out, because in this moment, if in this moment you are safe. Just allow it to come out that somebody taught you you weren't strong enough, you weren't wise enough, you weren't smart enough. All of those things you are, unless you tell yourself you're not. And so we're letting those go. So now you can come up and be that you were weak. What were all the things that you said to yourself because you couldn't take care of people the way that you wanted to take care of? I'm unlovable. One of the things when we're with the narcissist or even just somebody else that we believe that to get love, we have to be a certain way. That's not true. We come in with unconditional love. Unconditional love is the way it is the energy that we're all in, but we've made all these beliefs around these conditions that if you do this or be this way, then I will love you. I hit you because I love you. That's not right. Right? So so it is you getting in touch and releasing, okay, so all those areas that you have felt less than around your ability to be you in the world. Letting it go. Letting it go into the bubble. And let the life force of you come up. So letting go of any guilt around not being able to do what you thought you could do. Guilt around not being enough. Guilt around not taking care of somebody the way that you thought you should. How about guilt about sacrificing yourself? Self-sacrificing. Putting yourself last. Maybe even for survival you had to lie. Guilt about lying. You know, letting go of all these things that are holding us back. The sacrificing because you were afraid that you would be abandoned. You would not be cared for if you didn't take care of your family or one member of your family. And letting go of all the feelings about not being valued by your family, not being cared for, not having your needs met by your family. It's not you, it's them and their beliefs. But just letting that go. No, that's their energy. Just letting that energy go. So we're releasing any energies that are not yours, that you've taken on as your own. So that's one thing you can say. I release any energies that I've taken on as my own that are not mine, that are my family, my friends, acquaintances, roommates, old lovers, exes, partners, friends. Just release it into that bubble. Watch what happens. And again, allow your energy to flow up. So, and any anxiety that you have around, again, not being enough or worthy, safe, being abused, that abuse energy, any abuses that you remember, just letting them go in the bubble. Let it go in the bubble. If you're ready to let it go. You might not be ready to let it go, but whatever ones you can be, even people talking to you crossly. And where are you beating yourself up? Where are you beating yourself up? That's another. So look for that. Where am I beating myself up? Where am I saying? You know, just feel the energy moving from your heart. Like, so if releasing whatever that when you said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, it would release. I'm so sorry for thinking you weren't enough. I'm so sorry for thinking you were unlovable. I'm so sorry for not loving you. For not valuing you, for not accepting you. for not respecting you. So all those, let those go out. Let them go out. Out into that bubble. Clear, clear, clear. And then let that light of you come back in. Starting to feel more like you. It's like you're pulling tar off of you and dirt and muck off of you. All of those things. And where have you said, I don't want to be like anyone else? I don't want to be like you. I don't want to, your mom, your dad, another caretaker, friends, whether they were angry or abusive or, that they had a dark side to them, or they spent money and didn't give you any money, took care of themselves, but were the narcissists, right, or the selfish one, or the needy one, all of those. So wherever you have this strong thing that I would never be like you, what is the be like you that you're saying? And release that, because that's a deep vow that keeps you from being like you, because you're basically in battle to not be like them. So into the bubble. So, and release any negative visions, imprints, and stuff that you have from the news, from media, from social media, from movies, TV, gaming, government, religion, cultures, cults, whatever it is that, you've taken on with all this stuff going on. Release all of that's all energetic, and that's like sticking to you. So release it all into that bubble. Just imagine, and you can imagine still that the light's coming down from up above, and from source energy, and the light's coming up from the crystalline Gaia, and that is helping you to clean. It's helping you to send it out. It just gets brighter and brighter and lighter, and your heart just keeps lighting up as you're releasing into this bubble, and that bubble keeps getting bigger and bigger, and you can see the difference of your energy, what your energy looks like versus the energy that's in the bubble. And if you've had any survival issues or homelessness or starvation or war issues, again, letting that frequency, that vibration go into the bubble, releasing it, allowing it to be released so you can feel something else. So if there's any, are you a warrior? Are you always battling with people? Are you always fighting people? Are you a rebel? Are you always, having to get into people's faces or do the opposite of what everybody else is doing? Now, there's good aspects to that, right? There's good aspects to these things. We do need warriors and rebels and revolutionaries and visionaries, etc. So this is just the aspect that limits you, that you're labeling, that's just saying that just is you. There's a lot of you, so actually getting rid of as many labels, get rid of the labels of who you are, so you can just be, you can be a revolutionary in 1 minute, and you can be a visionary in another moment, and you can be a healer in another moment, and so you get to play in that multi-dimensional space of who you are and express yourself in a lot of different ways. You don't have to fit into a label. Let go of being shy. Let go of being the extrovert or the introvert or the mother, the daughter, the sister, the wife, all of these labels. And just so we can just clear that energy, right? So you just get to be you. And the more that you get to be you and shed this energy, because you're actually helping the collective shed this energy, where are our prejudices? Where have we been taught? What were we taught from our parents about how to see the world? Do we see it as, whatever our political beliefs are? Let go of the political beliefs. Let's start looking at for what's the highest good for all. What's the highest good for you? And then we can look at what's the highest good for all. So letting go, again, of all the definitions. I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a socialist, I'm a, whatever. So that we can each start to embody and start to get to know ourselves in new ways, and that our talents and our gifts can come and show up. Okay, so now I want you to think about what we just talked about. And think about it. So you're going to release any contracts that you have on your mother's side of the family. Any contracts through all the ancestors, all the past lives of your mom's lineage and past lives, that all the contracts get ripped up, torn, lasered, burnt, whatever, into the bubble. We're releasing all the old contracts, all the old ways of being, all the things that we agreed to when we became our mother's daughter or son. We're releasing all of those things so that we don't have to carry. We're not carrying our ancestors' decision making. Is a different time, a different place. It doesn't serve us. We need to, again, be living in the now. So releasing all of those contracts, all of the ways, anything that was handed down from the family energetically, that's not a contract, that is not for your highest good, that does not health issues, wealth issues, so starvation, again, wars, all the psychological, emotional, physical things that run through families. Oh, we all have diabetes. No, get rid of it. That's not true. So release all of this in our DNA, in our cells, in our belief systems. You do not necessarily take on all your families. You don't take on most of your family's energies, but if you believe you do, you do. So we're, clearing that. And then we want to clear also, any beliefs about that have to do with the sex that you are, or the culture you come from, any of the beliefs that are limiting there about being a woman or being a man. Again, releasing all of those things. Also in any past lives. So any past life energy that you're carrying forth as if for karma, or because something happened to you, you died quickly and you haven't moved your whole body. There's still part of you that's hanging back, or somebody died and you're hanging back for that other person. Just saying that all is resolved, and that again, you don't have to know what they all are. It's just you're letting go of past life issues, and that anything that is anyone that needs to know that I love them, that let them know. And anything that where I needed to know that it's okay for me to leave, and that I was loved, I let that go now. Just this is all resolved. The soul knows everything. So you can just tell the soul, we don't need to carry this forward anymore. And so we're going to release all the things that are making our work as this multidimensional human being harder here now. We're going to release it so we can ascend and be living and serving in the ways that we came here to really serve. Whew, that bubble's getting big, huh? So, So now we're going to do this with the father side. So I want you to think about the lineage of the father, all the things that you've taken on from the father, any contracts. We want to break all those, burn them, dissolve them. Those go into the bubble. From past lives, lineage, all of any belief systems. Again, physical, non-physical. Belief systems about values, what it means to be a man, how looking at the world, all the things that he went through whether there was, again, the financially, starvation, emotionally, war, cultural stuff, just again dissolving all of that so it's very neutral. We're letting go of the stuff of the past, breaking all those contracts so we can just be who we are in this moment right here, right now. And then let's do that with past lives. Any past lives? Any of your past lives? Or your father's past lives? Any past lives with your father who might be somebody else in those past lives, but any of that that's rubbed off, so we're clearing it out, or you've taken on or felt responsible for, right? Felt responsible for is the big thing. We're letting go of the things that you felt responsible for. And here's the thing, you did the best that you could do at the time with what you knew. Take a nice deep breath. All right, so I think that's enough right now. So just imagine, okay, just say anything else that needs to go now that does not resonate with my higher self and the highest energy right now that I'm to embody. Go in the bubble. Just intend it. Now here comes the fun part. So I want you to just imagine that bubble. So we're just going to give that bubble over to source. Just so imagine that bubble rising. So if there's like a cord attached to it, you can like set it loose, chop it off with, or feel like a sword or a hatchet or whatever you need, and it just goes floating up into source, and source takes care of all of that energy. You don't have to worry about it. It never will come back. And what you've let go of, you've let go of. Now imagine all your energy coming back into your body. So again, feeling that column of light lighting up, radiating, feeling your heart expansive. Just feel how you feel right now. So let's set the intention to release or actually set the intention to accept all of the new you right now. The new you without this. So I want you we're going to balance the body of the new you now. So I want you to breathe in and let this light and let this energy and your life force, you might feel your life force in your genital area, and it's like, a fire. And just imagine that the fire, it's turning up, and it's starting so that the flame can come all the way up all the way up and radiate. It turns on your heart. It radiates out all the heart energy. So I want you to accept, say, intend, I accept the new me. I accept all these new areas. I accept honoring myself. I accept respecting myself. I accept a healthy self. I accept loving myself unconditionally. I accept these new feelings that I'm feeling. New opportunities coming my way. So I want you to breathe now, those nice, deep, slow breaths. And I want you to imagine breathing into that heart. And as you breathe in, it lights up. And as you exhale, it expands and radiates. And breathe into your bones and your nervous system. And again, they light up. It's just like your heart lights up every time. You're just breathing into your whole body, and then it radiates. Breathe into your cells, to all your cells. You know, your spirit is in every cell of your body. It's like a mini you in every cell of your body. So you're lighting all that up. You're turning it on. You're loving it. Everything you're doing right now is so loving to your body. Your body is loving this. So breathe into your lungs and give that loving energy into your lungs. Let that light. If you want, you can think of a dimmer switch and you just keep turning it up. Turning it up if it doesn't naturally occur for you, that you can lighten, brighten, amplify that light in you, and just keep thinking of the energy moving. Breathing into your liver, into your kidneys, and your spleen, stomach, all the organs of the body, bladder, into your groin, into your brain, just your whole body. Imagine all of that, this whole column is all of your energy centers aligned. So you're in your body now. You're aligned in your body. Very aligned in your body. So you want to feel all of you here present right now. So honor you as a human spirit from conception. So I want you to think like, so this is like your energy, closer to your true energy of when you were born. So I want you to go back to imagine yourself in this energy at conception, and then go every year forward to where you are right now, to the age that you are now. So you would go year conception, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, 6 years. Just do that in this energy right now. You're like reprogramming your mind to believe that you're seeing yourself as this beautiful light of energy, unconditional love, radiating heart, healthy, abundant, wise, free, creative, talented, gifted, enough, worthy, full of wisdom, compassion, trusting as you're getting older here, trusting, having confidence and courage, and your connection, pure connection to Source and Mother Earth in every cell of your body and all the energy around you. So you can imagine all the energy around you is lighting up and is clear. And as you light up, it clears it even more. It's like lasers of light that are clearing, cleaning, feng shuiing, all the energy above you, all the way below you. You're connected into your higher self and to Gaia. The energies are going and growing. And feel your crystalline, vibrant, brilliant, sovereign, loved and loving being that you are. And now just let this light radiate out into the world. And I want you to open your eyes and know that you can be in this feeling, in your body, in this moment. You don't have to have your eyes closed. And this can stay with you. And if you stay in the now as much, it's a practice. No, this is a practice. And you can, like I said, listen to this again and more layers will come off, more things will come off, and you'll clear more and more and more. You'll have, again, different feelings, and you'll become, again, lighter and brighter, and you'll be able to hold this energy longer and longer out in the world as you move around. And so this keeps you, so no matter what's happening around you, you have sovereignty over, you have free will over how you see things, how you react to things, what you want to believe, what you don't want to believe. You have the control over that. You're not brainwashed. You're not conditioned. You're much more neutral, so you can see things from a lot of different perspectives, and you're highly creative. Your intuition and psychic abilities increase tremendously. That's just a few things. So as you experience this, I'd love to hear from you. Please like this video and share it with others, because that helps it get out there. And let me know what's going on with you, and how this felt, and what you're feeling like. So until we meet again, love, live, and matter. Thank you.